Hey guys, this is Brandon with Dr. Defense Methods, and just wanted to take a few moments to talk about a very important subject um, in how to handle yourself as an adaptive person in an active killer situation. A couple of days ago, there was a online advocacy group called Share What, who is dedicated to uh, fighting various uh, discriminations and fighting for rights of people like myself that have other disabilities. And as I was going through their Instagram page, they posted a picture of what would someone do in the event of an active shooters events. And to this day, um, I've never really seen the topic talked about or discussed with any sort of ferocity or seriousness. So I thought, what better time, what better place than now to talk about it? I've watched a lot of active killer training videos on the net on YouTube, and not one time, not one time have I seen um, a training scenario with a person in a wheelchair or that uses crutches or whatever it may be. I've never seen it. Now, I have seen one other person talk about what to do in the event that your workplace or school has an active killer. Um, at my work recently, we had a active killer training uh, class by a local law enforcement officer who was retired military, and did multiple tours to Iraq and Afghanistan, and had a number of years uh, on SWAT, on a SWAT team, training and being a part of that community. So mad respect to him. Um, but a friend of mine had asked, like, what her and myself do in the event that we work the front desk and our doors don't actually lock until a certain time of the evening. And the officer basically looked at my friend while I wasn't there, and at the time, and he told her that we were basically dead. That there's nothing that she or I could do, especially me being the person that uses crutches and can't necessarily run away. Uh, Basically, a person like me would have no fighting chance in the matter. And I don't know that I'm necessarily ready to accept such an answer. Um, because, contrary to popular belief, I think that there are things that you can do if you're someone like myself that has a lot more mobility in the upper body and can crawl and all these things. It's all very context based. It depends. It all depends on where you are, and it's a very not simple um, concept. But I do really believe that there are things that you can do um, in the event that someone's walking through a door with a gun wanting to kill you or several other of your classmates or coworkers. Um, I'll cover that in maybe another video. But we look at the basic run, hide, fight motto. Okay? And let me just say right out of the gate that I'm not the biggest advocate for the running part. In my situation, do you really expect me to be able to speed walk my way out of a door while trying to compute for the amount of other people trying to get out that same door with the amount of chaos. It just it doesn't make any sense to me. Um, and it also depends if if you're on one side of the building and the threat is on the other side of the building, and okay, you can get out the door safely, great. But I just don't see the running part from an adaptive perspective as a feasible option, especially if you're in a wheelchair. Uh, I just do not think that that is a valuable option. Again, it all depends on where the threat is and where you are, um, and accounting for being able to get out the door with so many other people. Um, it, yeah. Um, if you are a wheelchair-based person, it I would suggest having some really close friends that you can trust, that you know will take a bullet for you if need be to get you to safety. I'm a huge advocate for um, having teachers or authorized personnel on school campuses, on work campuses that have the ability to carry concealed, absolutely. Um, and if we as an adaptive community, you as an adaptive person, if there is someone on your work premises or school grounds that has a concealed carry weapon on them, you need, in my opinion, to really be in contact with these people. Let them know where you're at most times of the day, um, in class, uh, at work, whatever it may be, so they know in their minds where you're at. Now, it might be hard for them to get to you, but at least they know that there is someone that is in a less advantageous position of running away, that is a high value um, person that needs protection, if you will. Um, hiding is an option, but you have to know how to hide very well. And again, I go back to the idea of having a friend that you are close to, or friends that you're close to, that can be there with you and will not leave your side no matter what. Especially if you're a paraprofessional that works with special needs, it's on you to protect that person that is in a wheelchair or that has crutches or is mentally handicapped. It's on you to protect them. It's it's on you to be the first person that engages the threat as they come through the door that you might be hiding in. Now, I know that a lot of places go on lockdown and all these things are great. But in the event that hiding doesn't necessarily work, this is where I and my friends at Fit to Fight put a high value on the fight aspects. I've taught a few classes on how to deal with the threat that has a rifle or a gun coming through a handgun coming through a door or whatnot, and how to tackle and just beat the snot out of the threat that's going through the door. Um, the fight aspect is a lot more than just picking up an object and smashing the person in the head with it. Although that can work, you have to know how to attack that person's flank, attack that person's blind side, get control of the weapon, use that weapon against the attacker, punch him with it, strike him with it, tackle, double leg when he from his blind spot and beat that man until he's no longer conscious. If the personnel can stop the threat with their concealed carry, awesome, beautiful, because that means that less people are could be hurt or die as a result of a coward walking through a door with a rifle and various weapons. I think that again, it's all very community based, and unless you're like me, who has a lot more mobility and can get out of a chair and crawl and maybe get into positions where places where you can hide, or even, God forbid, attack that's blindside yourself and start striking, hitting, and biting and headbutting and joining in with a few other people to beat that fool. It's up to the community around you to protect that person. There is definitely a huge strength in numbers approach, in my opinion, to deal with an active threat on your work or school campus. Also, I think it's very important to be educated about people and what's going on around you. Again, like situational awareness. If you see someone that is looks off and is saying things that trigger warning signs, you need to go and you need to report that to the proper authorities. If someone gives you a sense of discomfort, or just makes you think that something might be like a red flag, basically, then you really need to listen to that, even if it's a false negative. If the person makes you uncomfortable, you need to make that known to the right people. Now, whether they actually do something about it is not so much on you now as it is them. But at least you know in good conscience that you are doing your part. So you need to use, if you're an adaptive person, you need to use your eyes and your ears. You need to communicate thoroughly and effectively. Lastly, these things need to be implemented into school systems, into workplaces, and if you are not by a place in a building where you and a friend can properly escape due to either there being a ramp where you have the ability to navigate stairs, then there needs to be emphasis on getting concealment and cover, and there needs to be a huge emphasis on the fight. without question. Because if somebody wants to adore bad enough, they're gonna get through it. And if you are a professional that has coworkers or students that are adaptive like myself, then again, it's on you to learn combatives, learn how to engage a threat if the police or someone with the CCW is not there. Um, and if you're like me again, then there needs to be a plan in ways that we can even learn to help aid in the fight. And I know that people are going to be like, well, that's going to get someone killed, that's suicide. But if it's a fight for your life and you can fight, and I can pick up my crutches and beat that fool while my able-bodied teacher or coworker is tackling that guy and trying to put him on the floor. In that circumstance, if in that context, if I can use my crutches, or if you have a power chair and you can run that mofo over so they're on the ground, and then if you can dive out of your chair and just start beating that fool, choke the life out of that man. If you can do that, then do that. But if you're not someone like myself that can do that, then you need to communicate, come up with a plan with the people around you to better protect your safety and to preserve life around you. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be very stressful. It's going to be very, very emotion driven. Your heart is going to pound out of your chest. But as I've said numerous times, it is the will to survive, not how many how many certifications you have in martial arts. It's not even the weapons you have on you, although that plays a part. But it's the will to survive, and your will to survive, and your will to come up with a plan and train is going to be your best outcome. And so I hope that this video has been informative. I know that if you disagree with me, all I ask is that you be respectful about it, and we can dialogue about this. But I really believe that there needs to be a set plan for adaptive people in the workplace and or school setting. So please share this video, and I'm sorry that my camera kept cutting in and out, but I hope you guys have a good day. We'll be back soon with another video or two. Peace.